Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I want to show you guys how to light a menorah, a Hanukkah, and how to do it properly, and just teach you guys a little bit about the laws of Hanukkah so you can make sure you're doing it correctly. We're going to go over how to light the menorah in the correct way and the prayers that you are supposed to say. We're going to go over the prayers in Hebrew. The transliteration will be on the screen, as well as the English understanding of it as well, and I will provide you the Hebrew pronunciation so you can say it yourself and say it correctly. As well, at the end, I will show you some extra prayers that are not necessary, but these are some prayers that I like to do to better open the channels, to use this moment of Hanukkah to fully receive all the power that's shining in the world as we're lighting these candles. So let's begin. First of all, you're probably wondering why I have two different menorahs with me. One is with wax candles and one is with olive oil candles. So in Judaism, there's always the understanding that there's the best way to do the commandments, and then there's the okay way to do the commandments. Either way is fine, but there's always a better way to do them, and there's always a acceptable way to do them. So the acceptable way to light the menorah is obviously using a wax candle, just like this. There's no problem with doing this. Most people actually use this because it's fairly simpler, much easier. However, the very best way to fulfill the mitzvah is to use olive oil candles. You buy these glass jars, you can find them at your Judaica store, and you buy cotton wicks and you fill them up with olive oil. Of course, you want to be using olive oil. Why olive oil? Well, olive oil is actually very spiritual, but olive oil was the oil that they used at the time of the Hanukkah miracle. So the point of lighting the Hanukkah candles is to talk about the miracle that happened, and so we want to resemble the original miracle. As well, olive oil is a very spiritual substance, so it's best to use olive oil, but it's not wrong to use wax candles. However, it's just ideal to use olive oil candles. So how do we do it? So the first thing that you have to know is that every time you light, you have to place the candles, right? So how do you place them? You're going to place them from right to left, okay? So the first night, you're going to place the first candle right here. But the second night, how are you going to place the candles? You're going to put the first one, and then you're going to add on here, okay? So to here. You're going to place this one, and then I would add the olive oil from right to left. However, when we light, we're going to light from left to right. So the newest candle is going to be the one you're going to light first. So on the first night, you simply you light the candle. However, on the second, third, fourth night, you're going to take your shamash, which is the candle that is separated. This is the one that you're going to use to light the rest of them. And you're going to light from left to right. So you would take your shamash, and you're going to light this light, this light, this light, and then the first one would be the last one. And so too with all the consecutive days. The newest candle is the first candle that you light. So on the 8th day, you're going to light this candle, this candle, this candle, this candle, this candle, and then the original candle will be the last one that you light. So rule of thumb is basically something you can tell yourself is that I place them from right to left, and I light them from left to right, okay? So I'll repeat that one more time. I'm going to place the candles from right to left, and I'm going to light them from left to right. You're going to always light the newest candle first, okay? So I hope that's clear. Now, here are the prayers that we're going to say. I actually make a PDF file every year. I give this out in the Hanukkah class that I give. You can actually find that in my link below. I give a live Hanukkah class that you can access with the Kabbalah meditation that you can do, and it comes with this PDF file with all the prayers for Hanukkah in a very nice format. So how is it going to work? The prayers will appear on the screen for you. The first night you're going to say 3 blessings. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to light the shamash. The shamash is the candle that lights all the rest of them. So you're just simply going to take your match, and you're going to light your shamash first, okay? Shamash does not count as one of the Hanukkah candles. It is simply the one that you use to light the rest of them. And here is my olive oil candle. Just like that. So you're going to light your shamash, and then you're going to say the prayers, okay? So here we go. By the way, in the PDF that I give, I provide in Hebrew, transliteration, and English. So highly recommend this one. There's a lot of air blowing, but this candle is still on. Okay. So you're going to light the shamash, and then you're going to say the first prayer, which is Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Kidishanu B'mitzvotav V'tzivanu Lehadlik Ner Hanukkah. Then you're going to say the second blessing. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam She'asa Nisim La'avotenu Bayamim Hahem Bizman Hazeh. So those two first blessings you're going to say every night. Now we're going to go through the third blessing. This third blessing you're only going to say on the first night. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam She'hechiyanu Ve'kimanu Ve'higianu Lizman Hazeh. After you've said those three blessings, you're going to go ahead and light your Hanukkah candles. Now, of course, you don't speak in between doing any of this. I'm just showing you how to do it. That's why I'm speaking. So you're going to say those first three blessings on the first night, and then you're going to light the candle. And then this one turned off, but I'm just going to take it like this. And then on all of the other nights, you're just going to say the first two blessings. Only on the first night do you say the third blessing, which is Shechiyanu. On all the other nights, you say only the first two blessings that I said. And after you say the blessings, you're just going to light your candles. And in what order? From left to right, right? So if it's the fourth night, you're going to light this candle, this candle, this candle, and then this candle last, okay? Then you're going to put the shamash back. And after you've lit your candles, so you place your candles from right to left, you said your blessings, you lit the candles, now you're going to say this song, which is called Hanerot, hallalu, okay? So this is how it goes. Hanerot hallalu anachnu madlikim, al hanisim ve'al haniflaot ve'al hateshuot ve'al hamilchamot she'asita lavotenu vayamim hahem bizman hazeh al yedei kohanecha hakdoshim v'chol shmonat yemei Chanukah hanerot hallalu kodesh hem ve'ein lanu rashut leishtamesh bahem אלא לראותם בלבד, להודות ולהלל לשמך הגדול על ניסיך ועל נפלאותיך ועל ישועתך. Okay, that's called Hanerot hallalu. In English, we're basically saying, these lights, and I'm reading from my thing, these lights we kindle upon the miracles, the wonders, the salvations, and the battles which you performed for our forefathers in those days at this season, through your holy priest. During all 8 days of Hanukkah, these lights are sacred, and we are not permitted to make ordinary use of them, but to look at them in order to express thanks and praise to your great name for your miracles, your wonders, and your salvations. Okay? After that, once you've done that, you've accomplished your commandment. The candles that you light have to burn for at least 30 minutes. If they don't burn for at least 30 minutes, then you didn't accomplish the mitzvah. So you have to burn for at least 30 minutes. And then you've accomplished your commandment, you've fulfilled what you needed to do. Now, I like to do some extra kind of Cabalistic things that help me better connect. So after I say those prayers, I actually say the Cabalistic prayer that's called Ana Bekoach. Okay? Ana Bekoach is a prayer that has 42 names of God, and it is very powerful, and it opens up all the channels. I will probably link the tune that I like to sing it at, but I will say it so you can know how to say it yourself. It goes like this. Ana bekoach gdulat yemincha tatir tzerua kabel rinat amcha sagvenu taharenu nora nagibor dorshei yechudcha kevavat shamren bachem taharem rachamei tzidkatecha תמיד גמלם, חסין קדוש, ברוב טובך, נהל עדתך. יחיד גאה לאמנך פני, זוכי קדושתך. שבתנו קבל, ושמע צעקתנו יודע תלומות. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. So I say Ana Bekoach. Then you have the option of saying Ma'oz Tzur, which is a famous song you could say if you like. And then I like to say specific psalms. So let me tell you what those are. I specifically say Psalm 30, okay? And we'll say it together so you know how to say it yourself. So I say Psalm 30. So let's say that one together. Because within this psalm, you have the word Hanukkah. I'm using my Tehillim. So here it is. Feel free to repeat after me. Mizmor Shir Chanukat Habayit LeDavid. Aromimcha Adonai ki dilitani. Velo simachta oivai li Adonai Elohai. Shivati elecha vatir pa'eni. Adonai ha'elita min sheol nafshi. Chitani meyardi vo. Zamru Adonai chasidav vehodu lezecher kadsho. Ki rega be'apo, chaim birtzono, be'erev yalin bechi, ולבוקר רינה. ואני אמרתי ושלוי, בל אמות לעולם. אדוני ברצונך, העמדת להררי עוז. הסתרת פניך הייתי נבהל. אליך אדוני אקרא, ואל אדוני אתחנן. מה בצע בדמי ברדיתי אל שחט. היודך עפר, היגיד עמיתך, שמע אדוני וחנני. אדוני היה עוזר לי, הפכת מספדי למחול לי, פיתחת שקי ותעזרני שמחה. למען יזמרך, כבוד ולא ידום, אדוני אלוהי, לעולם עודך. Okay, that's Psalm 30. And after Psalm 30, I say Psalm 91. Okay, but let me explain. I say the last verse of Psalm 90 and all of Psalm 91. Getting a little bit close to the fire. Okay, so let me just flip to that page. So I say the last verse of Psalm 90 and all of 91. Now this is known to cause a lot of protection around you. And if you're willing to go the extra mile, you're going to say the last verse of Psalm 90 and all of Psalm 91 7 times in a row. Okay? Now if you're quick at reading Hebrew, then it really shouldn't take you that long. But you can also just say it once, which is the last verse of Psalm 90, all of 91. Okay, let's say it together. Starting from the last verse of Psalm 90. Vihi noam Adonai Eloheinu aleinu, u'maaseh yadeinu konena aleinu, u'maaseh yadeinu koneneu. Yoshev beseter elyon, betzel Shaddai yitlonan. Omar l'Adonai, machsi u'mtsudati, Elohai eftach bo, ki hu yatzilcha mipach yakush, מדבר הבות, בבתו יסך לך, ותחת כנפיו תכסה, צינה וסוחרה עמיתו. לא תירא מפחד לילה, מחץ יעוף יומם, מדבר באופל יהלוך, מכתב ישוד צהריים, יפול מצדך 1000, ורבבה ממניך אליך לא ייגש, רק בעיניך תביט, ושילומת רשעים תראה. כי אתה אדוני מחסי עליון, שמת מעונך, לא תעונה אליך רעה, ונגע לא יקרב בהליך. כי מלאכיו יצווה לך, לשמורך בכל דרכיך. על כפיים יישאונך. פן תיגוף באבן רגליך, על שחל ופתן תדרוך תרמוס כפיר ותנין, כי ביר חשק ואפלתהו, אסגבהו, כי ידע שמי. יקרני וענהו, עמו אנוכי בצרה, אכלצהו ואכבדהו, אורך ימים אסביהו והרהו בישועתי. After that, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say Psalm 67. And ideally, you're going to say the psalm in the picture of the menorah. I'll put a picture of what I mean here on the screen. This Psalm 67, you want to say it by looking at the menorah the way it's here. So let me say it for you in Hebrew so you can say it yourself. Just flipping to the page, Psalm 67. Okay. And you want to say it while looking at this למנצח בנגינות מזמור שיר. אלוהים יחננו ויברכנו, יאר פניו איתנו סלע. לדעת בארץ דרכך, בכל גויים ישועתך. יודוך עמים אלוהים, יודוך עמים כולם. ישמחו וירננו, לאומים כי תשפוט עמים, מישור ולאומים בארץ תנחם סלע. יודוך עמים אלוהים, יודוך עמים כולם. ארץ נתנה יבולה, יברכנו אלוהים אלוהינו, יברכנו אלוהים, יראו אותו כל אפסי ארץ. Okay? So the sun kind of went down. So after you've said all of that, that's after I've said all of that, I start praying to God in my own words. I do my meditation, and I just sit by the candles for a really long time, to be honest. These wax candles go off pretty quickly, but the oil candles, they last for hours. So I will usually sit by my Hanukkah for hours, just praying to God, looking at the candles, because the fire of Hanukkah, the fire of these candles during Hanukkah have the power to cleanse your soul, to cleanse your eyes, to purify you the more that you look at them. So I really wanted to share this with you so you know how to do it correctly. I actually gave a Hanukkah masterclass this year online, and I have the recording. So if you'd like to access that, I will leave the link below. I go over all the Kabbalah of Hanukkah so you could better connect to the holiday on a totally different, oh, I blew that out. So you could totally connect to the holiday on a different state of consciousness. And so you can connect on a whole different realm. It really teaches you the depth of what's going on this day. As well, in this recording, I give you a meditation that you can do to really open up all the channels for yourself on this day. And it comes with a PDF of the Hanukkah prayers. So I highly recommend joining that and getting the recording. I'll leave the link for that down below. And before I say goodbye, I actually want to cover some laws of Hanukkah so you can be aware of them. Number one is that while the candles are lit, women should not work, because the main miracle was for women, because the decrees that the Greeks had on the Jews were much harsher on the women. So when the Hanukkah miracle happened and we were free, the women, they experienced the greatest joy. So women have a custom not to work while the candles are lit. Secondly, as I said, you can use any type of candle, any type of oil, beeswax to do the mitzvah, but ideally you use olive oil. And you can as well use any type of wick, but the ideal type of wick to use is a cotton wick. And you can do this all at home. It's very doable. You want to make sure you get the best kind of olive oil. And what time do you light the candles? So there's something called Tzeit Kochavim, which is nightfall. This is usually around like 20 minutes after sunset, but you should check your Zmanim online and it should tell you when nightfall is. I'll leave a link for that below so you can check when nightfall hits for you at home, so you can light your Hanukkah candles at the most ideal time. You can light them at any point in the night as long as there's people home, but the ideal time to light them is right at nightfall. For example, here in Miami, that would be at around 6 p.m. Where do you place the Hanukkah? So you ideally want to place it in the window that looks to the outside, because the whole point of doing this is to show the world, for people to pass by and see this miracle, to see the lights and to illuminate the outside world. So if you have a window that looks to the outside, that is where you want to put your Hanukkah. If you do not have a window that looks to the outside, then anywhere near the doorway of your home, that's where you want to put the Hanukkah. Now, you don't want to put the Hanukkah too high up. I will actually put what is the maximum height that you can place this at, and what's the minimum height it needs to be at. A lot of people actually get this wrong, because the Hanukkah cannot be placed too high, neither can it be placed too low. So a lot of people actually buy a stand that's placed at the perfect height where the Hanukkah can be. So I'll put the measurements right here on the screen of what's the limit of height, what's the maximum height the Hanukkah can be at, and what's the minimum height it needs to be at. It can't be on the floor, neither can it be at shoulder length, shoulder level. So put the measurements here. All of your lights have to be in a single line, a single row. There's a lot of Hanukkahs that are not kosher, meaning that they have the candles higher than the other. They put the placeholders, some higher, some lower, and that's not kosher. They need to be at the same length, the same height, okay? Yeah, during all 8 days of Hanukkah, we light a new candle. Each day you add on a new candle. And until we get to 8 days, it's a time of miracles, it's a time to pray. I highly recommend watching my masterclass. That will really help you connect better to the holiday. I wish you all the best. I hope this was helpful to you. Let me know if you have any questions down below. I will be happy to be of service. And yeah, wishing you all the absolute best. Happy Hanukkah, happy holidays. May you all be filled with tremendous light in your lives always.